If you don't want to wait years before you start making money online without having to invest in some fancy tools, then freelancing is the way. And if you don't have any experience and don't know where to start, then I got you, my friend. In this episode, I will share with you my tips to start freelancing as a beginner with no experience. This is how I made my first K within a month. And spoiler alert, you don't need to use freelancing platforms. This episode will be divided in 4 parts. First, we will discuss what is freelancing and the pros and cons of using a freelancing platform. Then we will discuss where you can find your first clients online. The third part will be about the strategies to market yourself efficiently without being sleazy. And finally, we will see how you can rebrand from a beginner freelancer to an expert service provider. So if you are ready to monetize your skills and start your freelancing career, keep watching. Hi, and welcome to this new episode of her online business podcast, the podcast for ambitious expat girl bosses and digital nomads. My name is Adama, I'm your host, and my mission is to help you build a business that serves your life, not the other way around, have more freedom, work smarter while making a positive impact. If you want to rebrand yourself on social media in 2022, then I have something for you, which is my Brand Your Social kit. Within it, you will find a 20-minute training on personal branding. I will tell you what it is and how you can use it to build your own personal brand and aesthetic on social media. You will also get 7-day content ideas for any niche so that you have at least 1 week worth of content ideas and that you can start creating your content right away. I'm giving away this course for free, so make sure you click on the link in the description of this episode to grab your access and let me know what you thought about it afterwards. First, I will give you some context about my background so that you understand where this is all coming from. So I started my business 2 years ago as a freelancing social media manager and marketing consultant. And so when I was starting, just having my marketing degree and my experience in previous jobs, I was completely new when it came to marketing yourself on social media. So I had to learn some tricks in order to attract my ideal clients and get my business started. So let's define what is freelancing. So freelancing is basically when you are offering your services or expertise to multiple clients or businesses at the same time. So it's like being an independent contractor and you set your own prices and processes on how you onboard your clients and work with them. So an easy way to get started as a freelancer would be to use freelancing platforms. And I have some mixed feelings regarding them. So I will share with you the pros and cons so that you can decide for yourself if it is something that you want to do. So let's start with the pros. The great thing about the freelancing platforms is that they put you directly in touch with potential clients. All you have to do is create an account on their website, update your profile with your expertise, your different skills, and then apply to gigs that you are interested in. And clients can also find your profile and send you an invite to apply to their gig. So you don't have to do the marketing by yourself. These platforms do it for you. All you have to do is apply or receive an invitation. Besides, creating an account is pretty straightforward. Anybody can do it. And if you already have a professional account on LinkedIn, it would be basically the same principle. Now for the cons, and these are the reasons why I believe that there are better ways to become a freelancer without using these platforms, is that first of all, they are not completely free. They charge you a fee for each gig that you get. So it can be up to 20%. And when you work so hard to apply for the project, do the interview, and then signing the client and providing the best service that you could, it is kind of painful to know that up to 20% of what you earn will go to the platform. Besides, if you really want to get all the benefits of these platforms, usually you will have to upgrade to a premium account to get some features like having your profile being more discoverable by potential clients. And so although these platforms are easy to access, they will cost you some money and the competition is clearly very strong, as we said that it is accessible to anybody. So basically, you will have to compete with people from all over the world, and some of them have very low rates because they live in countries where the living costs are lower, so they can afford to be paid less. But if you are located in Europe, for example, then it will be harder for you to justify higher hourly rates if you don't have any previous experience. So I would say being on these freelancing platforms can be a good idea if you want to get your footing and be more confident about the services that you can offer. But if you want to lean towards more quality of work and less quantity, then it's better to consider other options where it will be easier for you to stand out from all this competition. And this takes me to my point number 2, which is where can you find your first clients? And so maybe you already guessed it, but basically having a strong content strategy will get you there. So creating valuable content for your ideal client is the best way to get them to know, like, and trust you. When you are consistently showing up on social media and building your visibility, your ideal client will be more inclined to reach out to you to see how you could work together. And if you want a step-by-step process to create your content, I recommend you to watch last week's episode where I share with you the 3 steps you should take before creating content. And this will help you get started with your content strategy so that you know exactly what to post to attract your ideal client. I will also leave the link in the description of this episode. So for example, when I started as a freelancer, I found my first clients on Facebook. I was very active in different communities which were filled with my ideal clients, and I would engage there, create some valuable posts. And whenever someone was looking for a social media manager or a marketing expert, I would just comment, leave my website and a link to book a discovery call with me. And then from there, if we were a good fit, I would make them a proposal to work together. And so this is how I made my first 1K, not having any previous experience in freelancing. But what I knew how to do was how to communicate with a potential client. And I always made sure that it was easy to find my information. For example, my website was very user-friendly. It was easy to book a call with me, and then I would send the invitation to the meeting and a follow-up email. So I knew how to communicate with a potential client in a very professional way so that even if I was a beginner when it came to my experience, I could show them that I knew exactly how to handle the working relationship. And that is also very important, and that's something that will make a huge difference between you and somebody who just shoot their shot, but they don't have these skills when it comes to talking to a potential client. So social media completely changed the way we do business. You can go from an anonymous freelancer with no previous experience to somebody who is recognized for their expertise. And so you have to use that to your advantage and be present on at least one social media platform and start creating content there. Now, which strategies can you apply to market yourself efficiently without being sleazy? And these tips are great if you are an introvert who doesn't feel quite comfortable starting conversations on social media. So strategy 1, video marketing. And what I love about video is that in just one piece of content, you get to show your ideal client who you are, what you are about, and what is your expertise. So this is a very authentic way to connect with people online and build the trust that we talked about earlier. Besides, this will really make you stand out because there are not a lot of people who actually are brave or confident enough to use video to market their businesses. So if you are looking for a way to share your valuable content, then video is the way to go because as you have seen, most social media platforms are pushing video formats because they get more engagement and they get people to stay on there longer, which is what social media platforms want. So basically, when you are creating videos consistently, you are setting yourself up for success and getting more eyeballs on your business. Strategy number 2 is to create a masterclass or a workshop that will be packed with actionable tips for your ideal client. The great thing about this strategy is that once you recorded your workshop or masterclass once, all you have to do is to promote it on social media, and the people who want to get access to it will have to provide their email address through a sign signing form. So you get to build your own base of potential clients, which is your email list. So again, it will be easier for you to start conversations with people who already showed their interest by giving you their email address. Then you just have to learn how to follow up with the emails and keep providing value so that they stay subscribed to your email list and at some point decide to know more about your services. So these are the two main strategies that I recommend that I've applied myself in my business in the last 2 years, and these were the most effective ones. So I would suggest you to try them out and let me know in the comments how it is going. And finally, our last point, how to rebrand from a beginner freelancer to an expert service provider. First, you will have to decide that you want more quality than quantity. Usually, when you start as a freelancer, you want to get as many gigs and projects as possible to get your footing. But once you start gaining experience, it is important to only focus on the people that you absolutely love to work with and who you can really help as well. So one way to do that is by upgrading your packages or services. As you gain experience, you will increase your rates, but also increase the quality of the services that you are offering because you now have more tools and more knowledge to help your client get better and faster results. So these will justify an increase in your pricing because you are not a beginner anymore. You are now an expert. The second thing you can do is build your community. This is very important because your community will be more likely to buy from you. And once somebody hired you once, they are more likely to do it again and to refer you to a friend. That's why building your online presence through your content is so key and efficient on the long run because that's where most of your clients will come from. Also, make sure to share the testimonials that you get from your client and update your portfolio regularly if you have one, because this will show potential clients what they would get by working with you. So don't be shy about your accomplishments. They will speak for themselves when it comes to showing your expertise. And last but not least, make sure to improve your processes along the way, especially if you are looking to scale your business and to outsource some tasks to other freelancers. This is exactly what I'm doing now in my business, but I will record an episode very soon about that as soon as I can give you more insights. But what I've learned so far is that having all your processes written down and having everything in the right place, in the right folder is key if you want to keep growing your business and onboard new team members easily without having to repeat yourself all the time. And this will also help you work less in the business, but more on the business and on the overall strategy that you need to put in place as a CEO so that your team gets to take more on the daily and administrative tasks. All right, that's it for today's episode. I hope you learned a lot from it. Let me know in the comments what was your moment. And if you haven't already, now is your chance to grab my Run Your Social Kit, which is a free course where I explain from A to Z what is personal branding and how you can apply it to your business. And you will also get 7 days of content ideas so that you can start creating content right now. You will find the link in the description of this episode. If you want me to go more in details into how I'm now growing my business, give me a thumbs up so that I know that you want me to do more of these, and share the video with a friend who needs to see this as well. I will see you next week. Until then, take care. Bye bye.